Hello, my name is Whitney Wright, and I am completing my video on an article that I read for Module 3. The article that I chose to read is titled, "What Does One Do to Get Fired Around Here? An Analysis of Teacher Dismissals in Georgia" by Andrew Saltz. I chose this article because in my current position, moving into an assistant principal from curriculum, I have had some experience with having to walk through discipline situations with faculty members, and then additionally kind of seeing the process through with my principal at the helm of what it would look like to go through a termination or a non-renewal of a contract. And it is very interesting to me that after reading this article, most of the majority of cases of teachers who are terminated or non-renewed are due to things that are related to not necessarily their teaching performance or ability, but their inability to complete something that falls under the purview of their contract. So arriving to school on time, completing pre-planning days and being in attendance for those things, different things that don't necessarily reflect a teacher's ability to teach, but rather just complete the other components that go along with being in the role of being a teacher. And it's so interesting that and I appreciated in this article, they were looking at three major school systems in Georgia, and I work at I work at a private school, but Atlanta Public Schools was one of the districts that was analyzed, and they're right next door to us, and we use a lot of their recommendations and resources to sort of frame how we look at things because they're, geographically located close to us. And we always like to investigate best practices of those districts around us. So as I was looking through the article, I I thought to myself, how can we still have a manner in which to assess that a faculty member is doing all the things that they need to do per their contract, but then how can we make sure that we are indeed assessing for teacher effectiveness in the classroom as far as how are they teaching? And I liked sort of the walkthrough of when we moved from having just one observation of a principal to more of the TEKS, the teacher keys of effectiveness. So there was multiple and kind of different assessments for faculty members, but I'm wondering again, is that enough? Is what we're doing really improving practice of educators? And we know that our administrators are working with and dealing with so many things, including observing and monitoring most of the time quite large faculties. However, we want to make sure that our teachers are effectively teaching. And if they're not, how do we make sure that they are? And so as I look to what I will be doing, one of the things that we are currently discussing this coming school year is the system in which we use for observations and filling out, proper documentation of how our teachers are doing. We are independent, so we can make up our own plan for that. We've researched the Elliott. We've looked into kind of creating an online digital observation record that kind of aligns to TEKS, is not so intense, but we are vetting that right now because we want to start doing informal and then formal, because previously we'd only done one formal observation for the entire school year, which is not enough. So we're moving in that direction. So this article really kind of framed up for me, how do we measure teacher effectiveness and why is it so important? Because we just want to improve, our number one goal is to improve our educators and our students' experience. Thank you.